Welcome! This is part 2 of my Artfight prep, where I'm going over all of my new characters to make a fun video for all of you to draw along to, I guess. I didn't add most of these characters last year because I was afraid of the site and a bit worried that people wouldn't be so kind to my little beans. Mewfree! This character is super special to me. She is a pink and purple cat who has telekinesis powers, which she uses to float around. She enjoys the competitive aspect of games and is best friends with Ninja, who I will mention later. This is how she originally looked. And then we have this, and then this, and now this. And here are my thoughts on how I designed her. Since she has always had a sense of angst/loneliness/innocence in her character, I decided to delve into that in her most recent redesign-ish. I had in the past already redesigned her, but I had taken all the angsty parts of her and made her pretty much a blank slate of just cute. I liked this design, but I wanted her to have that core part of her character back, so I made her more scruffy, if that's the right word. And to do this, I added a lynx look to her sideburn fur things that may or may not have been inspired because I had been having fun playing Shelter too. Yep. This is Ninja. Extremely special. She is one of my first creatures that I grew attached to and kept as a character. She's super cool and is a ninja cat rat bug thing. The bug comes from the exoskeleton she has on her chest. She has a really cool weird thing she can do. She can drink water with her antenna. And she has spines that come out of her feet so she can run on vertical surfaces like a ninja, but a ninja that has to fight gravity. The only main thing I changed when redesigning her was giving her enough fingers on her right hand to count above the number 1 on that hand. Of course, her exoskeleton has been inconsistent for a while, but I'm trying to solidify it with the excuse that she can shed it and it will change into different formations every time, because that is a lovely excuse. This is Hats. This is a really recent character I made. Hats is a lovely insecure doll plushie made out of old hats. Hats cares a lot about how she looks to other people, and she consistently keeps to herself and keeps herself well looking and maintained and clean. Which makes sense because she hates being dirty. It may seem unlikely, but she is good friends with Screen and Trail Mix, will be mentioned later, and does not mind them hanging around her while she works on designing clothes for the various creatures who live around her. Her character is partially inspired by posable doll art, as you may be able to tell by seeing the bone/skeleton of her tail showing. I decided to give her a content warning after double checking the filter guidelines because she has 6 eyes, which could trigger trypophobia. Pineapple! Yo! It's the older brother of Mango! Pineapple is a hard-working young adult who is working as an intern for construction because he loves architecture and wants to design homes. Of course, these aren't normal homes as we know. They are burrows, since that's where these guys live. The reason part of his name is separate is because I may have gotten a little inspired from the naming methods in Warrior Cat stuff. So when they are kids, they have a name, and when they are recognized as an adult, they get their full name. I've never read a Warrior Cats book before, but I frequently had lots of fun watching people play games and making animations about them. I also did play a bit of Clan Gen, and I played a lot a lot of both Cattails and Cattails Wild Woods. EX3. Wowie! My most recent persona. She's really fun to play with in my imagination, and she lives in a beautifully empty backrooms aesthetic of an area where the only spooky thing in there is her. Her design is very, very much inspired by my first OC, whom of which you will see later. As you can tell, lots of things will be mentioned later. I added a lot of things I like to her design, like caution tape, looking stripes, biker outfit, drawing on face ability, and 4 big fluffy ears. I have a cool idea for an animation with her and how she's been developed over the years, but that's probably going to have to wait a long time until Artfight is over and all my other work-in-progress animations are finished. Candy! Whoa! Again, it is my first persona. She lives with most of my creatures and works as a mail delivery services. Her house is just an area of land where she keeps all her stuff. And she likes to travel around and look at all the cool art people make. I could really make a whole video on how I made her design. Actually, there are so many of my OCs here that I want to make individual videos for that it's kind of crazy. I decided to add her for this year because she's kind of my mascot and she has a nice humanish shape of a character that I can add for people who prefer the such. Trail Mix. Trail Mix is a very recent character as well. More recent than Hats though. Trail Mix is also a character I want to make an individual video for. He is a very fun little guy who is friends with Hats and Screen. He models for Hats' clothes sometimes, and this fella gets overwhelmed a bit easily, so being friends with Screen is a great comfort to him. Like, Screen is such a comforting little character. He loves sitting on people's laps. Design-wise, he is a fun, furry little guy with lots of screens on him. Like, not my character, but, you know, the screens. This is FIFO. I made her around the same time I made MM, and they both have similar concepts, so I decided to make them friends. FIFO likes to use old materials to make instruments to make music. It's a lovely combination. In her final design, I decided to give her an extra pair of ears because I thought it looked really cute. Her wings are also translucent, and her neon green spots and stripes can glow like glow sticks for funsies. If she wants them to glow in the moment, of course. Like, she has manual control over that. Notaboo! I am very excited to talk about Notaboo. I got to adopt him for free from a really cool artist named Simple Toast, who I've linked in the description. I made him an apple farmer because I feel it fits him quite well. I also gave him a hat, I really need to draw that hat, and made him friends with quite a few of my other characters. He grows crazy cool apples and has a whole forest of just apple trees. Like, these apples, spotted apples, striped apples, golden apples, all the apples. I think I like apples, I don't know why. I think my favorite part about his design is how silly and big his eyes are and how noodle-like he is. I'm something of a noodle myself. Puffin is also a character I adopted from Simple Toast. Puffin is a silly, teensy, tiny, itty-bitty dragon who can both swim and fly. She likes to eat fish and seaweed, but she does not like it when sand sticks to her scales. Super Ball. Whoa! It's my first OC I ever made! Yup. That's all about her character I will talk about because she'll have a video of her own. Just like the other ones I have planned. Again. So many. If I had to call her a specific animal, she is a black jaguar because that was my most favorite animal as a kid. Her wings are retractable because I sometimes forget to draw them here and there. Who? My very first favorite chow from my first chow garden. Since she was my favorite, she continued to regenerate and grew up different each time. She's very special to me and is definitely friends with Super Ball. Despite her changes in game, I had fun designing her to have the same animal parts while changing the color palette and head shape each time for each of her regenerations. Now, I have quite a few chow OCs to go, but like not enough sustenance for longer forms, so... Rapid fire, go now. Fig, bro can draw on grass. Lucky, she yearns for the pools. Puffin, she is friends with everyone. Wizard, he is so silly, he gets stuck observing architecture of pillars and structures. The closet, he's in a band with my sister Loto's Chow. Thingamabob, he's my sad red 40 apple baby thing. Cerdo, she my rat. Whoa, that was a lot. Now, on to my Among Eye. Yay! Happy Quail and Beatsley are all Among Eye who have fun playing in their game world, where they each trade off being imposter and crewmate with other friends. I made them off the guys I usually play as with my family. First one was Happy, then Quail, and then Beatsley, although I main Quail currently. I humanized their designs because I think I just really like how biker suit/costumes with visors look. I also really wanted to make their pets into their tails, and I am really happy with how each of their designs turned out. Yes. The Mistook? A Rain World OC? Whoa! Wondering how I made him? I originally made a couple slug cats out of clay, just Survivor and Monk, and somehow the Survivor one ended up on the floor, and he was so small and raggedly shaped that my mum thought he was a piece of tissue. From then on, I decided to make him my OC and call him Tissue. For his design, his clay figure was not the cleanest, it was full of dust, so I wanted to make him a bit fuzzy in some spots. I took inspiration from the dents on him to make his scars. Lastly, I made his eyes really dark red because I made a cookie of him one time, and we did not have black frosting, so I made his eyes red. Artfight theme OCs! Medley is a fun, silly dancing clown puppeteer masked furry guy. They love to make people smile and laugh. If you're wondering what other Artfight OCs have been made based off of the theme, feel free to check out my buddy Loto's video. It has really cool things, like so much Sonic stuff, guys. If you like Sonic, you might want to consider the video, yes. From the start, I knew what I wanted to make them. A masked furry. I was specifically inspired because of an animation meme video, and I really liked the concept. Link in the description. Anyways, they turned out quite fun. I made their hair, ears, antenna kind of bug-like, and ended up giving them more human anatomy in their legs rather than the other more animal legs. I forgot what they called. I gave them cuffs around their legs and hands because the common trope of people being forced to work and be puppeteered by the ringmaster in a circus, despite that not being the case in their situation. In reality, they use them for exaggerating their dances and looking more like a puppet. And yeah, that's all of my new characters. I'm very excited for Artfight to start. Also, if you're wondering what team I chose, if you couldn't already guess, I am on Team Comedy, which you probably already knew already if you saw my post. And after posting this video, I will be completely prepared for Artfight. End note. It's kind of funny. I had planned to only pop in the live stream for a couple times before the team reveal, but I kind of ended up staying for the whole time. It was quite the fun experience. Thanks for watching, my dear strangers. Bye-bye. Special secret secret special secret for making it to the end. Mufri and Kaninja. I bet you couldn't guess what inspired me to make them. Insert sarcasm. Maybe kind of obvious, maybe not, who knows? Yup, that's right, they were both originally my own Fakeamon. I was kind of potentially unoriginal with the names, you know, Greninja, Kaninja, Mewtwo, Mewfree. But we don't talk about that. These are my own characters and have nothing, absolutely nothing to do with Pokemon anymore, okay? Okay, don't come after me, please, I beg you. For Mewfree, I was really into the Mew and Mewtwo comics by TC96, so I imagined an experiment where scientists got a version of Mewtwo that was closer to their desired Mew. This one was very strong and broke out easily and stayed out by hiding in caves with other Pokemon. And for Kaninja, it was really just the name being similar. There was no Pokemon in universe Kaninja. Bye. Is it time to go? Guys, I think the video's ending. No. That's funny. Actually, no, there's bloopers. The video wasn't ending. Crazy. I was crazy once. From the start, I knew what I wanted to make them. There's no comma here. Comma. Scripting past self. Please add commas if you want me to pause. From the start, I knew I wanted to make them. I knew what I were. Scripting self. Why did you forget words? You know what you wanted. You know what you wanted to make them. You don't know. I knew wanted to make them. I knew wanted to make them. I knew wanted. That's not okay. They are also cousins with all of the other Artfightos. And they are also cousins with all of the other ArtFime. ArtFime? ArtFime? What's ArtFime? Bro. ArtFime. Artfight. My dude. It's Artfight. What's ArtFime? If you are wondering what other art